Eylon, you said in the past you never thought this day would necessarily come. Why do you think it is here? Why do you think we're on the precipice of this deal?
Good morning, and it's the first time in a long time that Israelis are saying good morning, because President Trump just made the impossible possible. He forced Hamas to give up its biggest leverage, the hostages. He told Hamas, no, you don't get to keep innocent human beings you were starving and torturing in dungeons under Gaza. You snatch from their beds. You don't get to use them as bargaining chips to survive this war you started. He put pressure on Qatar and Turkey. Qatar and Turkey put pressure on Hamas. That's what it looks like. And Hamas has now been forced to give up that leverage and commit to ending the war. And you know, it's a tragedy that that did not happen immediately after the October 7th massacre. That should have been the plan all along. You put pressure on the countries that backed Hamas after October 7th to force it to free the hostages, not haggle over them, and end this horrible war they should never have started.
So there's a couple of players here. Egypt's hosting. They're playing a role. You have Qatari representatives are there, obviously Hamas and Israel, and Turkey. Why all of a sudden do you think Turkey got so motivated to bring this to a close? I also saw that they're restoring flights to Israel. So what can you bring us behind the scenes, or can you give me an idea what happened?
Turkey is one of the overlooked actors in this conflict because it is one of Hamas's patrons. It hosts Hamas's leaders on its soil. It treated Hamas jihadists in its hospitals. It has been fighting a propaganda war against Israel in support of Hamas. It has been an epicenter of anti-Semitism with all of Erdogan's statements. So it's good that someone realized Turkey needs to be pressured into pressuring Hamas to give up those hostages immediately. The difference between Hamas and Islamic State, Hamas had state sponsors. It had countries behind it. They haven't changed their stripes, but I think here we're seeing real American leadership, peace through strength, saying, finally putting their foot down and saying, look, you don't get to hold on to the hostages as leverage to end this war. All the hostages have to come out in one go, and it's good that those countries were used to pressure Hamas.
So, Eylon, how has this happened? President Trump, I think people agree, is the best friend that Israel ever had and the most popular politician. At the same time, the president's got popularity in those countries I mentioned, at least among its leaders, especially, I don't know what the People poll said, along with Saudi Arabia. You saw the tour he took through the Arab world a few months ago. How did this happen? How is it possible that one man could have credibility with both sides like this?
You know, there is very little that Israelis agree on, but if there's one point of consensus this morning, President Donald Trump deserves that Nobel Peace Prize. And he deserves that Nobel Peace Prize because of that commitment to bringing an end to this war that Hamas started 2 years ago. I think leaders around the region look at President Trump and say this is a leader whose word counts, who really means it, who intends to use American leadership in order to protect America's interests. And one of America's interests is keeping its democratic ally Israel safe in the region, fighting against radical Islam and against terrorism in the region, and helping to end conflicts and bring peace. So they know that his word means something. They know he's serious about ending conflicts, not just pausing them. By the way, that's why the most important part of Trump's peace plan is point one, deradicalization. It's not just about bringing down Hamas. It's about the long-term vision. It's about clearing Hamas, clearing Gaza of the jihadi ideology that made people celebrate October 7th. If you get that to go away, if you get people inspired by a vision of building a new Gaza instead of destroying Israel, then peace can really happen.
Yeah, that peace council is going to be key. That'll be the next thing in place there to some type of organization without Hamas. Thanks so much, Eylon, and I'm so happy for you and everybody else. It's a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless America.
You got it. Can't wait for the next phase.